To really enjoy nature to the fullest, I believe you need to have the right tools. Regardless if you're going out on a trek and scoring amazing views, you're on the family camp out, or your yearly hunting trip. And having the right bushcraft tools will just make that entire experience more enjoyable. So I asked myself, what would be 5 bushcraft tools that I actually would want to use and that I've trusted in the past, each one being $50 or less here in the fall of 2025. And so we're gonna have a ton of fun as I share with you the list that I've compiled, why each tool works for me, and how it might work for you that come in at the $50 price point or less. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Aaron. This is Gideonstactical. Let's dive in, have some fun. Now, I believe that the foundational tool for this type of set that you can really build off of is a good belt knife, something that's not too big, not too small, that you can put it on your person, you can hike with it, you are able to do carving, whittling, food prep, you could clean fish and game, and can help you start a fire and just get work done, and it's always on your person. And at 50 bucks, that's a tall order. There isn't much out there. You know, there's some knockoff stuff, there's Moras, of course, but I was like, how can we get something with maybe a little more personality and possibly just more value? And I've landed on the BPS Knives Bushmate 2.0. This blade comes with so much. Not only are you getting a Scandi grind with a 90-degree spine, it's an 1/8 inch thick at like 4-inch blade length, just about ideal for most basic tasks that you want to do, compact tasks. It's got bolt-on wood handles, so you can do a lot of customization there. You can treat it and do different things. You can even make your own custom handles if you wanted to. And it comes with an excellent, high quality leather sheath and matching fire steel. So we have now a way to start fire and a sheath that's very versatile and just a really well put together package. And at least when I'm filming this video, you can score them for right around 50 bucks, give or take. And so I think that is a great tool. 1066 steel, Rockwell 57 to 59. So it's a high carbon, you're gonna have to keep an eye on it, but it's really performed well for me, and I think would be a great $50 belt knife to start this set out with. But I want to know from you guys, what would be the belt knife of choice for you? Now, all of these pieces of gear and equipment you can easily score actually on Amazon. That's where I'm finding these prices. I'll have links over to my Amazon store, to my affiliate links, you know, in the description as well, with it all like layered out. And I'll run in probably like 1 or 2 like alternatives that you could consider as well. That would be like great runners up, or maybe, you know, you're like, oh, well, I prefer more. Which one? You know, I'll have all that stuff in there. Now, our next tool is not price constrained, meaning even though there are more expensive options out there, I opt for the more budget-friendly option to get tons of wood processing done, and to get it done in a very efficient, precise, and actually safe way. You know, you don't want to injure yourself with your tools when you're out here by yourself in the woods, right? And we'll get to that in just a second, but I need to wet my whistle here. Guys, having access to hydration on trail without having to rely on some cumbersome water bladder is just a godsend, and why I continually trust my Hardside Hydration swig rig and ultralight swig rig systems, going on a couple years now, and why they're a great sponsor here at the channel, because this American-based company has come up with a solution that for years we were looking for. Like, man, I hate these freaking bladders. They leak, they take up space in the pack. What can we do? And then all of a sudden, bam, here comes Hardside Hydration with a detachable, easy to clean hose that then attaches to your wide mouth Nalgene's and other water bottles, or to 28mm smart bottles and things of that nature. That's what I'm kind of rocking here. And then this year they came out with their nano filter, giving you complete inline filtration, being able to scoop up dirty water and just hit the trail and keep on trekking. So guys, there's a link popping up. It's in the description box below, and I have my exclusive 10% off promo code, which will save you guys a little extra cash. They make great gift items here around the holidays, but also are excellent tools for yourself so that you can stay hydrated on all of your adventures. Now, our next tool, it's a folding saw. You give me a belt knife and a folding saw, I'm gonna get probably 80-90% of camp tasks done. And there are tons of great ones out there, but it's staggering what the Samurai series of saws bring to the table. They're Japanese made out of SK5 steel, and you can get either the Ichiban, which is a fixed version with a scabbard. This thing is like a chainsaw in fixed form and just rips through stuff. Or what I usually opt for, and what's actually in my pack right now, it's the Kiss. It's their folding saw, and both of these can easily be scored for usually like around 30 to 40 bucks, significantly cheaper than other Japanese folding saws. They have, I believe, a better HRC, which is lower, to give you more flex, so they're less likely to snap and break, and just give you a lot of capability without having to sacrifice a lot of weight, making them very packable, but also giving you a lot of precise capability to break down large trees, regardless if you're having to do a fire or you're wanting to build a shelter. But there are so many great options out there. So what's your favorite folding saw to take to camp? At least in my environment, 9 out of 10 times, I'm gonna go with a large chopper. That's me and my mileage. Your mileage may vary. And again, this price point, man, it's tough. It's tough to go and to get something that you know is actually going to work. You know, there's lots of no-name whatever stuff floating around. But when I really thought about it, looked it up, and they're still coming in right around 50 bucks. They might be a little bit more, a couple dollars more. But the Kershaw Camp 10, this thing is a beast, dude. It is a beast. At 0.2 inches thick, 10-inch blade, 18 ounces, saber grind, recurve, with 65, I think it's MN or NM, whichever, carbon steel. It's a basic, you know, Chinese carbon steel, but it is tough as nails, dude. And this thing can chop. It can be able to easily baton and split up wood, which is arguably a safer way, especially for people who are kind of new to the outdoors. It's easier to wield a tool and baton wood than it is to chop wood. It's a much safer process usually. So easily can do that, delimb, do all the stuff, 90-degree spine. I can carve with it. I can cut rope with it. I can do so much, and it's ergonomic, feels good, especially when I, you know, get up on the tool. And part of it is because I'm locked in with the guard, and the guard kind of allows me to get forward. And sure, putting my finger right here, and if there was a dedicated choil, would give me even more. I mean, I can do it. I'm just really close to the edge. But look at that. Look at that. You see those? Dude, that's crazy. Look at how thin those are. So in some ways, it almost gives me like more control than some other 10-inch blades that are out there. Especially with the guard, because I can just kind of force my way over the blade slightly. Dude, that's crazy. For a $50 chopper. And it has a decent polymer sheath that is ambidextrous. I mean, it's mind-blowing actually the value in what you get with the Camp 10. You may be sitting there going like, well, man, how am I going to like resharpen that? You know, some people get kind of nervous with recurves. Even before I did the testing, I discovered that the last time I'd used it, I put, you know, some 2 little nicks into the belly of that blade. And that's the one downside to inexpensive tools. Usually you get softer, air quotes, cheaper steel, which just means you have to maintain it more. It usually means that it's tougher if it's done right, and these tools I've been recommending so far are very tough, but you're gonna have to resharpen them more frequently. And so another instrument, it's not in our 5 list, but something that you could easily pick up for under 50 bucks would be either a Work Sharp field sharpener. Those things are phenomenal, and you can resharpen all the tools on this list without any issue, and they have guides for newbies and stuff. Or if you like something with a bigger handle, then you could also look at some Sharpel sharpeners, especially I think it's like their paracord wrap field sharpener thing. That thing was awesome, and that's what I actually sharpened this recurve with, no problem. Have a multi-tool when you go out in the outdoors to maintain your gear, to do different tasks that a knife and a saw and, you know, different tools just can't do. And nowadays you really can't find any American-made stuff with pliers, and when I say multi-tool, I specifically a plier-based multi-tool. Now, in the years past, I would have recommended at this price point a Gerber suspension NXT. That is not the case anymore. There are better kind of clones, knockoffs, whatever, from these kind of pop-up companies. And I've tested many of them, and they are really good for like $25 to $45, depending on the implements, depending on the brand and like steels. Very impressive. The one that I would suggest is just kind of like easy to be like, that one has proved itself very well for me on multiple designs, is the brand Beeberry and their Wave clone. I mean, it's basically a Wave. They've just tweaked like 1 or 2 little tiny things on it, but you're getting, you know, like a saw, a knife, locking implements, pliers, you know, you get scissors, all of those things, drivers, can openers, all the things that you would need if you're fishing, if you're hunting, if you're needing to do, like, even the wood saw is great for like little bushcraft notches and things like that, picking up, you know, pots out of the fire. There's just so much that those multi-tools can do, and they are really inexpensive. So we got to have an axe, right? We got to have an axe or a hatchet. It's a staple. It is especially important depending on your environment. This is the only one where I'm kind of giving you a 2-for-1. It is a toss-up between Fisker axes and Estwing axes. Estwing is an American-based company. They've been around a long time, you know, Boy Scouts, like all that stuff. They are a full-tang construction. You can get them with like leather stacking in the smaller, more compact sizes. I don't really use those. They are really cool, but I've never really found a lot of use for that size. It's when you start getting into like the rubberized, overmolded blue models. Those have excellent chopping power and are very durable. They're very durable because they're just a huge, giant metal head. Now, they're pretty heavy, and they usually have thin faces, meaning that they are excellent at parting wood and taking out chunks for chopping. And if you're looking at it as kind of more of an all-inclusive tool, yes, it will split, but it will not split as well as the Fiskers. Now, the Fiskers are polymer hollow handles with definitely broader heads. Those heads are usually better in most scenarios for splitting. So if you're not doing a lot of chopping and you're doing more splitting, I would go more for a Fiskers. And then you can just pick sizes from the, you know, X7, which is their more compact, like 14-inch, all the way up through like the X11 I really like. That's a good size. There's the X17. And most of these models that I'm highlighting for both versions are coming in like right around like 40 to 50 bucks. You can still score them for that price. Well, guys, there you have it. I hope that this video has been fun and entertaining, but also giving you some food for thought and kind of helped us all realize that, sure, I love a good premium tool as much as the next guy, but we can get a lot of work done and not break the bank. And I invite you to check out the other video, to subscribe, and until next time, always remember to stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.